Yo, what's up, guys? So this is film composing part tres. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some more shit because this is very deep. And if you don't give a fuck about your movie, then click out. But I'm telling you some shit about composers that you might not know and that might help you make better decisions because it's fucking critical. And look at all your heroes, every single one of them. Look at every fucking big director there is. They all super care about the music, what's the saying? The movie is made in post. You shoot some shit and it fucking changes in post. You're like, oh, I didn't even know I was making that movie, But I want to say at the top is like, understand that composers, they care, like that they want your movie to be the best it can possibly be. There is an emotional attachment element to your film, and it's not even our fucking film, right? But we're spending a lot of money. I'm gonna go super granular on this shit so people understand what the fuck composers do. We spend a lot of money on our studios. Go look at my studio, jasonsmiley.com, then click studio, right? And my studio was like, I don't compose anymore, but it's probably $100,000 for that shit. And most of it was spent on samples so that it can sound the best just for the fake score. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't even necessarily the score that's going to go into the movie, but we're still spending that amount of money so it sounds good. So when you come over and as a director and listen to it, it sounds fucking good. So granular. So I had 3 Macs and I had 3 PCs, and they were all synced together, and my PCs were built from scratch. Like the builder of the PCs, and they're not cheap. They were $4,000 a piece, like $4,500, $5,000, something like this, each one of them. Just for the computer, not the shit that goes into them. That was way more, okay? But the person who built those PCs specifically was a designer for composers. That's how fucking meticulous we are. That's my point there. That's how much we're trying to help your fucking movie be the best it can be. And did I say that? Like, the movie is made in post, right? So, and the point with the other director that I was working with, he was trying to get signed by CAA. There was a CAA ex-agent who had turned producer who got him his financing, and he was trying to get signed there. But and that's the thing there is I think some directors don't sort of accidentally fuck up their movies, and also are sometimes a bit arrogant and think the composer doesn't understand movies. And I saw the problems in his movie, and that's one of the reasons why I started writing. I got signed with CAA, and he had a $6 million movie. He did not get signed there. Okay? And I came in off paperwork, a screenplay. So my point there is, like, don't complain if you're, sorry about the noise, don't complain about if you're a writer and you spent $100 on, final draft. That's nothing to a composer. There's no, I don't even, what tool could we buy for $100? I don't know, a kazoo or something, Let me talk about Hans Zimmer. I have some notes here, and both these videos can go long, who cares? This is for the pros. Click out if you're not a pro, okay? Hans Zimmer is one of the first people to ever sort of kind of admit that he uses ghost writers, okay? And that was that has been his process, where you come to him with a movie, and you're bringing it into his facility, not him specifically. And our Hans is like the leader of the team, and is like, I will make sure that you get the music you want. Did I write every fucking note? No. And back in the day, and maybe it's branching out a bit more now, but back in the day, there was a lot of people like hiring ghost composers, and that's why I got into that, because essentially too many directors wouldn't pay, like on the indie level, and tell you all kinds of bullshit. So I'm like, I can't make money in the fucking indie world. That's why I'm gonna go ghost compose, because at least I'll get paid there. I won't get any credit for it, but at least I'll get paid, and then let's go to did I forget anything about Hans? Oh, I wanted to say this about Hans Zimmer is one of his most badass moves, and this is why you're paying for a composer, is on Inception. I was a composer at the time. I didn't realize that he took the main themes and motifs and so forth, and just slowed it down in the dream sequence. And I think he might have pitch shifted it as well. I didn't pick that up, and I'm a composer. And once I learned that, I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. This is how meticulous Chris Nolan is about his music. You see what I'm saying? That's why he's the biggest director on the fucking planet, because he gives a fuck. This is my movie, I want it to be the best it can possibly fucking be, period. Now let me tell this story. Now I'm gonna go off grid for a second. But this is the most badass move I've ever heard in the entire industry. Okay, so I don't know if this is true, but this is the story I heard about it. And I forget who told it to me, but they're like, yeah, Chris came off of Batman 2 and Christopher, and he was like, okay, now I have leverage. So now I'm gonna go to the studio and say, listen, I'm not doing Batman 3 unless you make my movie, which is called Inception. And they're like, and he's like, the budget is 175 million, but you don't get to read the script. Okay? And if you pass, I'm gonna go to someone else and they'll make it. But I'm not, and then I won't do Batman as well. So you get two problems. Okay? And they're like, wait a minute. We at least need to see the script. And he's like, no. He's like, you know what? I'll tell you what. Okay, you can see the script, but you got to sit there and read it in front of me. All three of you, the heads of the studio, yeah. Put a table here. You read it in front of me, and I'm gonna have dudes watch over this shit. Basically guards. I don't know if the story's true, but it's a badass story. I hope it's fucking true. And we're gonna watch you read it. Okay? You don't get to put your phones away, no phones, none of that shit. You don't get to talk to anybody. You read it, and then what we're gonna do is you get 30 minutes after you close the page. You can discuss amongst each other, and then you decide. And if it's a no, I'm not doing Batman 3. Okay? And so that's the story I heard, that they read it and they're like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it. As kind of a throwaway, like fuck it, we need Batman. We know that's going to be $1 billion movie, so fuck it. You want 175 million? There you go. Okay, this. My point here is Chris Nolan is playing the game super fucking meticulous and hardcore, man. Not just in his composing, all the way around, plus his movies, plus everything. Super smart guy is what I'm saying. You want to make it to that level, be smart about everything, dude. I know it weighs on you. It's a lot of shit to think about, but come on, Now let's go to all-in budgets. Okay. And that's what directors want you to do. I'll give you an all-in budget, and if you don't know what this is, go look it up. And the composer's like, man, really, like, I'm thinking, go fuck yourself. What do you mean all-in budget? Because we know what that means. That means you want us to come out of our pocket for your fucking movie. Like, here's an all-in budget. Like, for example, I was offered $2,000 to score a feature the budget was $2 million. That math does not add up, dude. What the fuck do you expect me to do with $2,000? You know what I mean? Like, You know, and plus they want like live, can we get some live singers and instruments and this kind of shit for $2,000, dude? I barely can pay the fucking electricity to run my studio, to just write it. Forget about the recording costs and, you know, everybody else that would be involved. No. So I said, no, I can't do it. It's a pass for me. And they're like, well, and let me say this, like, there's so much shit to get. I know I'm talking fast, but there's so much shit to get to. Composers like John Williams or Danny Elfman or, you know, James Newton Howard. Do we know who these composers belong to, basically? You know, whomever the fuck else, Trent Reznor now, and you know, they're not doing all-in deals. They're doing if I walk in the room, you pay me for that. You're paying for my intellectual property up in here. I'm not paying for that. Like, what? No, I'm not paying for my electricity, my studio, none of that, dude. Okay, you're getting my voice on your movie, and so no, you're gonna pay for it. Okay, and so to the composers out there, I recommend that you make people fucking pay for it. Fuck these, you know, all in deals and this kind of shit, you know. And I know there's a lot of composers who are like, I spent all my money on the all-in deal, paying for the fucking recording time because we give a fuck, right? We're passionate, man. We're artists, so you know, whatever. We take the project to Prague. Maybe I can score it there, you know, for cheaper, right? Do you know this, right? And so cool. I got you know, decent musicians for a good price, you know. And you blew your whole fucking, you know, the budget on that, and you didn't make any money, you know. And they tell you like, they tell you, well, I'll give you. See, I'm already at 12 minutes, dude. I could go so much longer. They tell you, we'll give you backhand points. And as a composer, don't say that, because the moment we hear that, we're like, that's bullshit. That's never happened. We know the money's going to be spent up. There's going to be fuzzy math, and I won't get that money. So fuck you. Okay, don't say that. As a director, don't, you know, like as bait, like I'll give you backhand, fuck your backhand points, pay me right now, okay? Because I'm doing the music right now, that's why. What else? Here's like a little thing, is like, don't describe musical instruments to us, you know, meaning don't tell us. For example, here's an example. I had a director say, I want an oboe right here. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I write the music. There you go. There's your oboe. And they're like, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, it's a wrong instrument. I'm like, that's an oboe, dude. I fucking promise you. And they're like, no, it sounds more like da da da. I'm like, do you mean this? You know? So I play it for them. I'm like, that's a French horn, dude. That's a completely different. It's made out of different. Like, it's made out of completely different material, even. One's metal, one's wood, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? So, no. Just describe the sound. Like, I want it to sound like rich, you know, and woody. Okay, cool. Maybe that's oboe, clarinet. I don't know. You know, or ba 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 ba. That, okay, that's probably horns of some kind. We'll figure it out, you know. Or I want it like twinkly, you know. Okay, cool. Piano or something, like little bells and shit. Cool. Okay? Don't tell me the exact instrument if you don't know what the fuck it is. Okay? You just sound stupid. Like, would a film composer go tell a director like what lens to use if they're fucking wrong? No. What else here? So, you know, and they will tell you, do it for the exposure. You know, I will get you exposure. No, you won't. Because we already know that your movie's probably gonna fail. Okay? Understand that. That's a fucking main point. That every composer you go to, we know that your movie is probably gonna fucking fail. You think we don't know that? We do. Okay? We know this is probably just a fucking vanity piece, and fine. But we need to get paid. You know? Otherwise, why am I doing this? I got bills to pay. You know? Like, I'm not here just for your fucking service, you know? At your service, Mr. Director. No, dude. I need to get paid. Okay, so that's what I recommend. Later, guys.